I remember the night he called me, his voice shaking so badly I could barely understand him. "I don't think I can do this anymore," he said. Those words hit me like a punch to the chest. I didn't know what to say. I was scared for him. Eric had always been the guy who made people laugh. He was the type to keep things light, always cracking jokes. But lately, he hadn't been himself. He stopped coming around, dodging texts, and when we did talk, he sounded tired, like he was carrying something too heavy. I just didn't know how bad it had gotten until that night. He told me how he'd been waking up every day with this heavy feeling, like he couldn't breathe. He couldn't focus, couldn't sleep. He felt like he was drowning in his own thoughts. He'd started skipping work because just getting out of bed felt impossible. That night, though, something shifted. He said, "I was about to give up, but then I remembered something my grandma used to tell me. She always said, when it gets too hard, talk to God. He's always listening." I thought it was just one of her sayings, but tonight I decided to try it. I sat there quiet as he explained what happened. "I got on my knees, man," Eric said, his voice breaking. "I just said, God, if you're real, I need help. I can't do this on my own." And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it felt like something broke inside me. Like all the weight I was carrying wasn't mine anymore. Over the next few weeks, Eric started changing. He wasn't magically happy all the time. He'd tell you that himself. But he started doing small things like reading the Bible his grandma gave him years ago. He'd call me and talk about these verses he found, how they made him feel like maybe, just maybe, he wasn't alone. One Sunday, he asked me to go to church with him. I wasn't sure what to expect, but when I went, sitting there, I saw him singing, eyes closed, like he actually believed the words he was saying. That's when I knew this wasn't just a phase. Eric told me later that finding God didn't make his problems disappear. What it did was give him a reason to keep going, a sense that his life mattered. He started going to therapy too, and he even got back into painting, something he hadn't done since high school. Now, when I see Eric, he's still the same guy who makes people laugh. But there's a calm about him now, like he's not fighting the same battle every second. And when he tells people about what he went through, he doesn't make it all sound easy. He just says, if you're hurting, don't keep it inside. Talk to someone. Talk to God. It made all the difference for me. I still think about that phone call sometimes, how close he came to giving up. But now, when I look at Eric, I see hope. And it's a reminder that even in the darkest moments, something or someone can pull you out.